Welcome to this comprehensive guide on understanding and reading the F-distribution table. In the world of statistics, the F-distribution is a cornerstone for hypothesis testing, particularly when we are comparing variances or performing an analysis of variance, known as ANOVA. Understanding how to navigate its tables is a fundamental skill for any data scientist, engineer, or researcher. To master the table, we first need to understand the F-distribution itself. Unlike the normal distribution, which is symmetric and centered at 0, the F-distribution is non-symmetric and right-skewed. It starts at 0 and extends to infinity. The shape of the curve is determined by two distinct parameters, the degrees of freedom for the numerator and the degrees of freedom for the denominator. Let's define our terms. The degrees of freedom for the numerator, often denoted as df1 or v1, typically correspond to the number of groups we are comparing minus 1. The degrees of freedom for the denominator, df2 or v2, usually relate to the total number of observations minus the number of groups. These two values act as the coordinates that will lead us to the correct value in our table. Another critical component is the significance level, or alpha, theta. The F-distribution table isn't just one single grid, it's a collection of tables. Each table corresponds to a specific alpha level, such as 0.05, 0.01, or 0.10. This value represents the probability of committing a type 1 error, rejecting the null hypothesis when it is actually true. In most scientific research, alpha equals 0.05 is the standard threshold. Now, let's look at the anatomy of the F-table itself. Across the top horizontal header, you will find the degrees of freedom for the numerator, df1. Down the left vertical column, you will find the degrees of freedom for the denominator, df2. To find a critical value, you must select the correct table for your alpha, then find the intersection of your df1 and df2. Imagine you are a quality control manager at a high-tech manufacturing plant producing semiconductor wafers. You want to know if two different machines have the same variability in wafer thickness. You take 10 samples for machine A and 12 samples for machine B. Your df1 would be 10 minus 1 equals 9, and your df2 would be 12 minus 1 equals 11. Using an alpha of 0.05, you navigate to the F-table for 0.05. You look for column 9 and row 11. The value at the intersection is your critical F value. If your calculated F statistic from the actual data is greater than this critical value, you reject the null hypothesis and conclude that the variances are significantly different. Let's take a more complex scenario. A marketing agency testing 3 different advertising designs across 15 different regions. This is a classic one-way ANOVA. Here, df1, groups minus 1, is 3 minus 1 equals 2. The total observations are 3 times 15 equals 45. So df2, total minus groups, is 45 minus 3 equals 42. In the table for alpha equals 0.01, a stricter 99% confidence level, you might notice that the value 42 isn't explicitly listed in the df2 column. Often, tables jump from 40 to 60. In this case, statisticians use the closer value, 40, for a conservative estimate or perform linear interpolation to find the exact critical value. The F statistic you calculate is a ratio, the variance between groups divided by the variance within groups. If the groups are very different from each other compared to the internal noise or error, the F ratio becomes large. The table tells us exactly how large that ratio needs to be considered statistically significant, and not just a result of random chance. Statistical software like R, Python, or SPSS now calculates these values instantly, but understanding the table is crucial for interpreting p-values. A p-value is simply the area under the F-curve to the right of your calculated F statistic. If your F statistic is further to the right than the critical value from the table, your p-value is less than alpha. In summary, reading the F-distribution table requires 3 pieces of information: the alpha level, the numerator degrees of freedom, and the denominator degrees of freedom. By mastering this, you gain the ability to validate complex experiments and make data-driven decisions with confidence. As we conclude, remember that the F-test assumes your populations are normally distributed and that the samples are independent. Always check these assumptions before relying on your results. Mastering these tables is a rite of passage for every statistician. References: 1. Gujarati D.N., Basic Econometrics. 2. John E. Friend, Mathematical Statistics. 3. Montgomery, D.C., Design and Analysis of Experiments. 4. Walpole, R.E., Probability and Statistics for Engineers and Scientists.